Living a life of purpose. How do you go about doing that? Simple. What makes you happy? What makes you feel good? What are your dreams? Now let's take it a step back now. So in this life, we're taught that, life is linear. You got to go about living a life where you go to education, you get an education, you go to school, and then after school you graduate, go to university, you go to college, and after that you find somebody, you get married, you buy a home, you have kids, and by the time you're 65, when you can finally retire, that's the whole point when you can start living your life, when you're close to dying. How exciting does that sound? Not very exciting at all. So let's get rid of that old paradigm. Let's think about it from another perspective of when you were a child. And if there was one thing you could do where money wasn't even an issue, what was that? That is what makes you happy. That is what is passionate about you. And each one of us has different interests, different things that make us happy, different things that make us feel good. And we start acknowledging what that is, and we start putting our energy towards what that is. You could do something simple, like, you know what? I want to try acting. I want to be creative, drawing. You know what? I love cooking. I love food. Why not try doing that? Or maybe you want to travel. These are the things that we do that really nourish our own personal development. And we got to get rid of the cultural norms of what culture and society and what other people think is important to us. At the end of the day, they have their best intentions. But at the end of the day, who's responsible for all the actions that we do, that I do? That's me. And whether I realize that or not, when I'm being influenced, I'm still responsible for my own actions. So but we also have a choice to break that chain, to say, no, I've had enough, to break the chain of culture, society, what our parents think are, and start living a life that makes sense to us, that makes us feel good. And I can tell you, once you start doing that, you start living a life of full purpose. And what it does, it creates momentum, it creates projection, and eventually, every aspect of your life is much more full, it's much more rich, and you're not stuck in the daily grind of working 9 to 5, of just seeing the days go by, the months go by, and then eventually not even realizing where time's gone. Because when you start consciously creating, when you start doing things that make you happy, what happens is it brings you into the moment. It grounds you, it makes you present, and you're fully aware of what you're doing, because you're not working by default. You're trying new things, you're exploring, you're developing, you're expanding, you're growing. And that's the whole point of this life. This life is a life of creation. And we start living that life of purpose by doing things that make us feel good, that what we love, that makes sense to us. That's when we start having this life of purpose. And it's phenomenal. So that's something I want to share for this morning. That's something that has changed my life completely. And that's something I know that if you incorporate in your own lives, you're going to see such a benefit. So have an amazing day. Take care.